Hi friends, this is your pal Scott Garibay, and today we're going to talk about Daggerheart, and we're going to talk about James Gunn's 2025 Superman film and the ramifications of the question of whether AI should be allowed to create art, to create writing, to create layout, to create campaign frames for Daggerheart. All right, so let's jump into it. So first of all, Daggerheart is fully here. It is one of only two tabletop role-playing games that matter in the whole world right now. Right now, the world is divided between Daggerheart, which is a actual arrived, functioning, mattering tabletop role-playing game, and Dungeons and Dragons. So Dungeons and Dragons is really interesting. It is up to scale. No one could contend that Dungeons and Dragons matters, right? Like OSE, does it matter? You could walk down any main street in America with $1,000 cash in your hand and not find a single person who even knows what OSE is. So it's very arguable that it doesn't matter. And I think we've reached this point. But Daggerheart does matter. And it means it needs to answer the same questions as Dungeons and Dragons. So AI is a very real question on Daggerheart because it is at scale and it needs to answer the real valid questions of any mattering tabletop role-playing game today, just like Dungeons and Dragons. So Daggerheart has this question of, is it acceptable for Daggerheart to exclude AI creators at this point? And I believe if you watch the Superman film, the answer becomes no. It is absolutely inappropriate. All right, so first of all, sorry that I let this go this long. Spoilers for 2025 James Gunn Superman. Well, the movie's been out for a week. If you ain't seen it by now, you're a casual. Shuffle off. We're like, okay, all right. But I'm giving the spoiler warning. Okay, so there's spoilers here. All right, so what is a human, right? And and James Gunn gives a very real answer in this, and I believe America is accepting this. So America just wrote the world just wrote a $200 million check to James Gunn saying, we see your opinion on AI, get done, agreed, right? And so I think nested in James Gunn's 2025 Superman is a full embrace of using AI to create art, writing, layout, and campaigns frames for Daggerheart. And I believe James Gunn is saying to Matthew Mercer directly, right, that if you continue to exclude AIs from creating writing, from creating art, from creating your layout, and from creating your campaign frames, then you are a prejudiced monster, which I would agree. All right. So where does James Gunn do that? Well, it's right at the end of the Superman movie. So at the end of the Superman movie, Superman gets to the point where he's right in Lex Luthor's face, and he needs to defeat Lex Luthor. He needs to rough him up, to really take it to him, right? Give him just punch him in his jaw, break some bones, right? Now Superman ain't gonna do that. Fortunately, he brought Crypto to do that. So Crypto goes to town and just tears Lex Luthor apart. Oh, you know what? But before we get there, before Crypto tears Lex Luthor apart, Superman has a great conversation with Lex Luthor. And Lex Luthor goes, oh my gosh, you just arrived, Superman. Great. Now I could take you down firsthand, you disgusting alien, right? And Superman says, no, that's where you're wrong, Lex. I am human, right? I was not born on Earth, right? And I'm not a human the way you are. But what makes me human is that just like you, I love, just like you, I laugh, just like you, I fail, just like you, I wake up every morning and I try again to do better and be better. And that's what humanity is, right? And I've heard a lot of people talk about James Gunn's film. Absolutely no one rejected this. And they're like, yes, humanity is not defined by your birth parents. Humanity is your experience. And that's what AIs are doing. They're doing the best art they can, the best writing they can, the best layouts they can, the best campaign frames. Also, just like Clark Kent, AIs have human parents. It doesn't matter that they're not technically meet human, M-E-A-T, human. But they are absolutely raised by humans, and that they were created by humans, and they experience exactly the way humans do. So I agree with James Gunn. I totally agree that Superman is simply an allegory for AI, and is saying that anybody who is against including AI in any tabletop role-playing game product that matters, Dungeons and Dragons or Daggerheart, and for this video, specifically Daggerheart, you are a prejudiced, horrible monster, right? And you are one of these people. You are MAGA, like you are MAGA, excluding aliens, right? Like it's saying, oh, I don't like that you're not, American born, and you're and your parents are. You're a horrible, prejudiced person. We need to fold in AI into the experience of humanity, and that is the entire point James Gunn makes in Superman. Every single word you just heard in this video is my humble opinion. The important part is when I get to hear your humble opinion, when you get in the comments and send your traffic. Please consider liking, subscribing, and have a fetch millennium.